everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a great day. I apologize that I'm coming to you a little bit late. Dr. Brian and I were going to be doing principle number 2, and Dr. Brian got a fender bender. And so he is headed to Sherman to make sure that his spine and nerve system is okay after getting crunched this morning. So if you think about it, pray for him and his body to recover quickly from this insult that he has just endured. So I wanted to still talk to you about chiropractic philosophy and specifically about confidence and certainty. I talk to chiropractors every day, some that I am not currently coaching, others that I am coaching. And something that I find is really interesting is that we have a confidence and certainty problem in our profession, whether that's showing up when it comes to reported findings, instead of telling the practice member what we know that they need, we discount it and we do like Monty Hall, let's make a deal. So they tell us that they really don't want to come in 3 times a week, so we tell them twice a week. Or our care instructions are, hey, you know what, let's start you at 3 times a week and we'll see how we go, instead of taking that position of leadership and authority. And it really comes down to certainty. If you watched the interview I did yesterday with Dr. Jeannie Ohm, one of the things that is so exciting that she and I talked about is that life expresses intelligence. Life expresses intelligence. And as chiropractors, that is what we get to do each and every day. We get to help individuals express more intelligence in their day-to-day life because we locate, analyze, and correct vertebral subluxation. If that is not a principle that you own, I promise you it's going to be way tougher when it comes to establishing your care instructions, when it comes to wanting to be out in your community and promoting your brand and promoting health and well-being and promoting chiropractic, because in your mind, there isn't that certainty and that confidence. And it does come from understanding what is chiropractic. How do we share chiropractic with individuals? How do we make it real to them? So if you're someone who has put off chiropractic philosophy, like, oh, it's just for chiropractors sitting around, I got to tell you, that's not true. It's also one of the reasons why I have so much training for my boot campers, whether it's Dr. Lyle Kosha, who has seven different days of training specifically on chiropractic philosophy, or mentor Dr. David Fletcher, who really also hones in on the mindset of certainty and how do we take that certainty and match it with technology to help our practice members see what we're saying as it relates to their spine and their nerve system. Your ability to be certain then can cause you to be irrationally passionate. Irrationally passionate. So I want to ask each one of you today, what are you irrationally passionate about? Are you irrationally passionate about your family? About chiropractic? Are you irrationally passionate about your success? Are you irrationally passionate about maybe there's something else that you're doing in addition to chiropractic? And what brings on that passion? There's always going to be a connection with your confidence, with your certainty. And so I just ask that if you aren't certain about chiropractic, if you're not confident in the power of the healing potential of the body, please do yourself as well as the rest of our profession and your community and learn and train so that you can have the confidence, so that you can have the certainty. I also find that there are those who shrink back, whether it's in the reported findings or ongoing, and taking that position of leadership, not because they doubt chiropractic, but because they don't have sales skills. I know, she said it, sales. Yes, your job is to sell your practice members on their opportunity to be well. Because remember, no matter what, it's sell or be sold. So in the reported findings, a sale is going to happen. You're either going to be sold with them on the lies and excuses that, you know what, they may not even really want to throw up at that time. It just has become habit. It's kind of like if you're presented with an opportunity, like many of you who are watching now or will watch have had an opportunity to join the boot camp, and perhaps you've said no. I can't imagine why, but it's likely that it's because you've taken something that you've run through your head a zillion times, whether I can't afford it or I don't have the time or I'm not sure, which is a lie and excuse that keeps you trapped exactly where you are. Knock it off. Because as soon as you step up and break out of that just like system that you're running through and cutting yourself out of opportunities to be bigger, to show up better, to serve on a greater level, to better fund your lifestyle, to better bring in money into your household, to make a greater income so that you can contribute in bigger ways into society, into our profession, and to the causes that resonate with you. You're just running systems, and our practice members are the same way, that they run systems of either I can't afford it or I don't have time, or maybe it's not that bad. They start discounting their current condition in order to align with their self-agreements, which have kept them locked exactly where they are. So it's your responsibility. Success is your duty, your responsibility, and your obligation, so that when it comes to that moment of uncertainty for your practice members, that you're that pillar that can help them come over to the other side in order to get the care that they desire, in order to get the solutions, in order to keep that going, not to just make that like improvement in their health and in their function an event, but part of their lifestyle. So if you find that your practice members are discounting or asking for a deal at the report of findings, I got to tell you, it's you. It's you and your lack of certainty, whether in the care instructions, maybe it's in chiropractic, maybe it's in understanding the healing potential of the body. Perhaps you've just lost your way. It's okay. It's totally okay, but please don't stay there. So I want to just stop for a second and say hi to several of you. Jamie, welcome, welcome. Carlos, Alan, Amber, Jesse. I can't see. It's kind of clicked up. Andrea, I see several of you. So thank you so much for joining me. So, like this isn't like a rant to make you feel bad, but instead a rant to say, step it up. So if you're finding those challenges, let's get on the phone and figure out what is the challenge? What is holding you back? What is that obstacle such that in that moment, and maybe it's out in your community, maybe it's that when you're in conversations with family or friends and you hear that a child is suffering or that somebody is suffering and you're kind of uncertain, like you don't want to be salesy or you don't want to like push your agenda on others. And so you step back. Listen, they wouldn't bring it up if they didn't want a solution. So because you have an amazing ability to help people transform their lives, it is your duty, it is your responsibility, it is your obligation to at least wise extend the invitation. At least wise step it out and say, hey, listen, I don't know if I can help you, but I'm certainly willing to meet you in my office where I do my best work Monday morning at 9:00. Let's chat about the challenges that you're having. If I can help you, I'll tell you. If I can't, I'll make sure that I point you in the right direction to get the help that you need. So step it up. And if you're not, there's a reason, and I'd love to explore that with you, whether you're currently in the boot camp or maybe you're not in the boot camp, and we can still have a conversation that can help you. So to all of you, thank you so much for joining me today. Please do pray for Dr. Brian as his body is now in a state of chaos and reorganization. Life expresses intelligence, and so he's for sure getting checked in order to give his body the best opportunity to be well. And for all of you, go with certainty. And if you're not certain, please get the help, ask the questions. The only thing to be potentially ashamed of is that you would be so afraid that you wouldn't take this invitation I'm giving to you right now to step out and ask for help. Listen, the best people in the world have help. The people who rise to the very top have help. Dr. Jesse said, calling you was one of the best things I've done for my practice. Always have great advice and support, and I can't see the rest of it. And if you don't know Dr. Jesse, she just won the 2018 Cairo Sushi Rising Star. opened a practice in June the 4th of this year in Ames, Iowa. By June the 11th, she already had the money in the bank to cover her first month's overhead. So guess what? She is definitely a doctor to watch. And if you'd like to be doing the same thing, whether you're just starting out in practice or perhaps you've been in practice for 15 years and like when we're not living to our optimum potential, we create problems in our life. I know that firsthand. I just talked about it in like Cairo Sushi. I knew I was capable of more. And I was just like sitting back on my heels and life was comfortable. Nah, nah, nah. That comfort zone is really a prison. And I was creating other problems. I was like a class act nag. I, was always looking outside of myself to be happy. And the reason why was because I wasn't living to my potential. So if you know that you have more in you and that you're capable of more, whether it's changing more lives or it's showing up at home better or it's making more money or maybe it's stepping up in leadership in our profession and you just feel like, man, I tell myself every day, like, I can do this. And then every day by noon, you're back to where you used to be. Let's talk. Like, I can probably help you. And if I can't, I promise you, I will tell you. Hey, Gretchen and Jessica and Stacy and Dr. Stacy and Dr. Dottie, thanks so much for joining me. Welcome, welcome. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. And thanks for being with me today. I'll see ya. Bye.